Nah, don't do this to me. Help! It is done. I am still alive, my son.
Don't scroll. Don't blink. Because what you're about to hear will shake you. A mother thrown off a mountain. A son blinded by greed. A wife fueled by ambition. And a truth that returned stronger than death itself. This story will make you rethink family, gratitude, and the price of betrayal. Stay with me, because the moment this mother comes back, the whole world freezes. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, my lovely family. Before Lagos ever whispered the name Grace Mount Holdings, before money built glass towers reaching toward the sun, there was only a man, a woman, and a dream. Mr. Grace and his wife Inna were ordinary people. Back then, Lagos wasn't shining. The roads were dusty. The markets were loud. The future was uncertain. He pushed wheelbarrows of cement under the hot sun. She sat beside him with ledgers and receipts, keeping records with one hand and holding their infant son the other. Every evening, when the sun died behind the rooftops, he would look at her and say, "My wife, one day this company will stand tall, but if I leave before that day comes, promise me you will protect it." She always smiled and answered, "Your dream is safe with me." He believed her, and he was right, because years later, just when Grace Mount began to rise, a heart attack stole him away. On the day he was buried, Lagos stood still. Employees wept openly. Even the sky looked darker. And there she sat, Inna Grace, whispering to her husband's coffin, "Sleep well, my love. I will not let greed destroy what you built with honest hands." Their only son, David, grew up surrounded by wealth, foreign schools, private tutors, luxury everywhere. She hoped he'd return with heart, wisdom, and humility. But when his footsteps finally echoed through the company doors at age 28, she saw something chilling. The warmth in his eyes was gone, replaced by calculation. He hugged her, but his voice carried a challenge. "Mother, I will do better than you. Not for you, not with you, but better than you." That day, something died inside her. Still, she gave him a chance. She made him vice president. She allowed him to stand in the spotlight. But the more the public praised him, the more invisible she became. Every newspaper headline read, "Young genius leads Grace Mount to the future," never once mentioning the crippled mother behind him. And then the woman arrived. Her name was Amara, beautiful, elegant, strategic. When David introduced her, her mother's heart softened. "Maybe," she thought, "love will bring my son back." But when Amara bent to greet her, her smile didn't reach her eyes. It was cold, scripted, calculated. That night, as the newlyweds danced beneath chandeliers at their Victoria Island wedding, only one person in the hall wasn't smiling. His mother.
Because beneath Amara's beauty was the quiet hunger of someone who came to claim a throne. And she wasted no time. Within weeks of moving into the mansion, "Darling, your mother should rest now. She's old. Let her enjoy retirement. She shouldn't interfere in business anymore." Her voice was sweet. Her words were poison. David listened, and slowly he pushed his mother out. Contracts were signed behind her back. Funds moved secretly. Old staff were fired. Integrity, once the soul of Grace Mount, was replaced with ambition. One morning, the loyal manager whispered, "Madame, your son sold company shares to foreigners without your consent." Nena froze. Her hand trembled on the rim of her wheelchair. That night, she confronted him gently. "My son, do you remember your father's last words?" He didn't answer immediately. Then, with a coldness that shattered her heart, he said, "Father is dead. You are old. This company is mine now." She felt something collapse inside her chest. The child she raised was gone. And outside the door, watching proudly, was Amara. It began with fake kindness. Soft phone calls, warm smiles, sudden affection. "Mother, we want to take you to Obudu Mountain. You need fresh air." After months of rejection, she believed him. "Maybe my son has changed," she whispered. A black Range Rover carried them through winding roads deep into the mountain fog. She sat in the back, holding her old Bible, unaware that she was holding it for the last time as a mother. At the cliff, David said, "Let's take a beautiful photo." His voice was calm, too calm. She smiled, trusting him. And then, a whisper from Amara. "Now." A sudden tremor, a push, a brutal kick. The wheelchair soared forward. Metal screamed. Her body twisted in the wind. Her scarf flew like a wounded bird. Her last sight was her son's cold face watching her fall. Darkness swallowed her. David exhaled. Amara recorded a fake accident video. They walked away hand in hand. They thought it was over, but fate had other plans. Deep in the valley below, a woodcutter named Chukwa heard a horrifying crash. He found the broken wheelchair and the broken woman inside it, barely breathing. Her scarf had snagged on a branch, as if heaven itself refused to let her die. For 3 days she drifted between life and death. When she finally opened her eyes, the roof above her was made of palm leaves. There were no machines, no hospital beds, only a fire crackling in the corner and the memory of betrayal burning in her chest. She didn't cry, she didn't scream, she simply whispered, "So this is what greed can do to a child." She decided she would return, not for revenge, but for justice. While she recovered in hiding, Lagos celebrated her death. David and Amara held a grand memorial. They cried for cameras. They launched a charity in her name. They were praised as compassionate leaders. Meanwhile, they secretly drained company funds. Grace Mount was dying from the inside. In the mountain hut, Nena wrote a single sentence to her husband's old lawyer. "I am alive. Prepare for my return." The lawyer arrived weeks later and nearly collapsed when he saw her alive. "Madame, how did you survive?" She replied, "Justice kept me breathing." The day came. An invitation was sent to David and Amara, and ceremony honoring the true founder of Grace Mount. Thinking it was about the late mother, they eagerly attended. The Lagos Convention Hall glittered. Reporters filled the space. Lights flashed everywhere. David grabbed the mic proudly. "Tonight we honor my late mother." Applause. The curtains rose slowly. And then? Silence. Gasps. Frozen faces. There she was, alive, sitting in her wheelchair, scar on her forehead, eyes blazing with truth. David staggered backward. Amara nearly collapsed. Cameras clicked wildly. She looked straight at them and said, "I did not die. Only your consciences did." The hall erupted. And then she said the line that shook the world. "You kicked me off that mountain, but a mother cannot be killed by greed. She can only be revealed."
The lawyer handed the police a sealed envelope. Forgery, embezzlement, attempted murder. All proven. Amara screamed. David trembled. Handcuffs clicked. Cameras flashed like thunder. Nena didn't look at them as they were taken away. She simply lifted the microphone and said, "Grace Mount did not lose a leader today. It reclaimed its soul." The courtroom overflowed. People held signs. "For justice for Mother Nena." Gratitude is greater than gold. David and Amara were pale shadows of themselves. The judge read the crimes: attempted murder, financial fraud, forgery, moral betrayal. When asked to speak, Nena said, "Your Honor, I ask for justice, not destruction. They are still my children, even if they lost their way." The judge nodded solemnly and delivered the verdict. David Grace, 25 years in prison. Amara Grace, 20 years. All stolen assets returned. Grace Mount restored to Nena. David whispered, "Mother, I'm sorry." She replied, "Sorry is not enough, but may it be the beginning of your return to the light." Grace Mount was rebuilt into something new. Grace Mount Foundation, a company dedicated to disabled people, widows, orphans, the forgotten. 70% of profit went to charity, and Lagos began calling her the Iron Angel of Lagos. She would always shake her head and say, "I am no angel. I am only a mother who survived the fall." 3 months later, she visited David in prison. He fell to his knees, crying like a child. "Mother, I don't deserve your forgiveness." She placed her hand on the glass. "You do, because you finally learned to kneel." he had been teaching other inmates how to read and write. She smiled. Then, today, you have finally graduated. As the sun set over Lagos, Nena whispered, "There are people who were pushed into the abyss, but down there they found their wings." And that is when this story becomes a lesson. Wealth is not how much you have. It is how much compassion you have left. If you're listening right now, write in the comments, "Thank you, Mother, for giving me life." Because someone out there needs to remember that gratitude is the only road that leads the heart back home. Thank you so much, my beautiful viewers, for watching today's story. Your support, your likes, your comments, they mean the world to me. Love. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Your engagement helps these stories spread farther and touch more hearts. New stories drop every week. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. East. Stay connected, stay blessed, and see you in the next story.